Hi, Brett.
Hi, Doctor.
So you can share with us, what's Brett's visit with ophthalmologist. What's the progress? And
Yeah, I feel that the progress with Brady's been great. We had him tested not that long after, I think it was our second visit for treatment with yourself, and we took him to the ophthalmologist.
that's in which month of last year?
That was in January of last year.
January 2011.
2011.
So you went to the ophthalmologist.
Yeah, I think we went to the ophthalmologist in, I think it was late February, and just for his annual routine checkup. When the doctor first had a look in Brady's eyes and just did routine tests with bar charts and things like that, he was pretty amazed at the improvements that he'd seen. In particular, the swelling in Brady's eyes had decreased quite radically, and even the pigmentation in the back of his eyes on his retina had, a lot of it had cleared up. And the doctor said to us, he said, I'm not too sure what you've been doing, because we hadn't spoken to him about how we were coming to see you and what sort of treatment we were getting, but because we just wanted a neutral opinion.
Yep.
And yeah, he was blown away and said that, I'm not too sure what it is you've been doing. Whatever you're doing, it's working, because his eyes are remarkably better. And he was pretty a little bit lost for words at first. And at first he thought it might have been the Diamox that he had given us for Brady to take, but we informed him.
What was the medication for? Was it Diamox?
Diamox was a little bit similar to, well, not similar, but he said it was to help with the swelling of the eyes.
Oh, swelling, okay.
So yeah, he said it had been known to help with the acuity as well, visual acuity, but when we informed him that we hadn't given Brady any Diamox, that was when he became a little bit more, I guess, curious as to what it was we've been doing, and we told him about the treatment that we'd been getting from you, how we'd been to Vancouver once already, and that you'd come to see us in Melbourne as well, and yeah, he was very interested, but
that's after the Melbourne treatment.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But, I think, unfortunately, after that, yeah, I think he was quite dismissive of the fact that your treatment had been successful.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
it's understandable.
Yeah, I think it was a bit disappointing to us, because his whole attitude towards it changed, and it had even upset Brady, because
it's very unprofessional.
Yeah, it was
unobjective.
Yeah, it was sad. Yeah, he'd made up his mind that all of a sudden his eyesight wasn't better, and Brady was sitting there saying, "But I can see this little." He had a teddy bear on the side of his window. He said, "Well, I can see that teddy bear right over there." And he just didn't want to listen to us, unfortunately. So
after they tell them you try Chinese medicine, he don't want to listen anymore.
Yeah, and I think I'm not too sure why.
Did he test the visual field for?
Yes, he did.
Visual field, acuity.
Tested the acuity, tested the visual field. We went for the visual field test a month later, and
shows progress.
Well, now this is the thing. We thought it did. Looking at, I'm not an ophthalmologist by any means, but I know what to look for with those tests now after Brady having so many, and the width of his vision had definitely opened up. Quite substantially compared to the previous test, which was only 6 months earlier. And yet when the doctor phoned, said that no, if anything, his vision has grown weaker. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that, because I watch Brady walk around every day.
It's too denominational.
Yeah.
If it's not Western medicine, they don't acknowledge it.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing to us. So while we know we have to keep going to see him, because it's part of the process involved with treatment for Brady, I guess. But it's just disappointing that he wasn't a little bit more understanding or open to believe that what we were doing was certainly helping and certainly not hindering. That's for sure. So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's a small community in Sunshine Coast.
Yeah, I think the Sunshine Coast, I'm sure there's several ophthalmologists on the coast, but we're the first ophthalmologist we've seen that diagnosed Brady, gave us written down on a piece of paper, your son has retinitis pigmentosa. For the life of us, we didn't know what that was or what that meant. And he said basically go home and look it up on Google and learn what you can about it. So that was basically his prognosis, was to write it down on a piece of paper and tell us good luck. So that...
Which year it is?
That would have been 2008.
2008, okay.
Yeah, and needless to say, the more we learn about it through our own research, the more devastating it was for us, and for Brady in particular, that he had such a horrible condition. But sort of what left us with a bad taste in our mouth was the lack of personal touch from the doctor, where he offered no contacts for support groups or what direction we might go, or even the fact that there is some alternative treatments that you could seek out and at least try, instead of accepting what they consider the inevitable, but trying to help Brady best way we could. And so, needless to say, we sought out another ophthalmologist, which it's definitely gave us a lot more information and stuff like that about the disease and what it does, and good information on what drugs Brady should steer clear of. But
did he initially support your trip to Vancouver for the treatment, or no?
Look, he did say, his words were, "What can it hurt?" He said, "It can't hurt." We said, "How do you feel about us seeking out alternative treatments?" And he says, "Absolutely." And so we were fairly excited when we came back about it and told him about it. And his initial reaction was that Brady's improved dramatically. His words, mind you, and for some reason, I don't know, he became dismissive after that. So just disappointing. I'm sure he's got his reasons, but we see and watch Brady move every day. And before we took him for treatment with yourself, Brady was really doing it tough. He was finding it difficult to walk around on his own at night. He couldn't really do it, and even after our first trip with yourself, it was plain to see the difference in him. And teachers from Brady's school also mentioned that they could see the difference in how easily he's getting around and moving on his own and walking on his own and just doing everything, basic living on his own fine. So, and he's been that way ever since, basically.